my name is Jennifer Spencer, and I am the Extension Dairy Specialist for Texas A&M AgriLife Extension. And today we are at Mr. Adam Wolf's dairy, Wolf's LegenDairy, and he's going to give us a short background about his dairy.
Thank you, Jennifer. Again, my name is Adam Wolf. I grew up with my father milking cows every day. I'm a fourth generation dairy farmer. We have 4 pens of 180 cows. So we have 3 robots per pen, milking 60 cows per robot 3 times a day.
You have free stalls here. Can you explain a little bit about the free stall and the setup that you have here?
Sure. So we have 3 robots per pen with 180 beds per pen. So the robots are implemented in the living areas of the cows. So this is called a free flow facility. Cows can come and go to the robots as they please without human interaction. We have 3 large brushes per pen. It gives the cows something to do when they're not eating, milking, or lying down.
So what were some of the challenges that you faced with cows going to the robots, and how did you manage that?
Probably the initial challenge we had during the whole training process. You're warned from a lot of dairymen that the first 6 months is a very trying time, tough time. And with me trying to operate another facility and moving the new cows into this facility, just having the labor here, the help here to train those new cows for the robots was a real trying time.
What were some of the things that you considered before you decided to implement robots?
Sure, I've always been a strong believer in the robot technology, but in order for it to really work in Texas, I was concerned about how the cows were going to visit the robots during the heat of the summer. So we wanted to design and build a facility that would maximize cow cooling and heat abatement strategies. And if we were able to do that during the heat of the summer, I was confident that cows would visit the robots.
So besides the robots, we noticed too that you have the feed pushers. Can you explain a little bit about those?
Okay, so they're called LegenDairy. They utilize Roomba technology. They run every 2 hours, so 12 times a day. They'll run back and forth through the cow lane where the feed is, and when cows eat, they kind of throw the feed out. So by us running at them every 2 hours, it pushes that feed close to their mouth, keeping it fresh, keeping it close to the cows, and it entices them to eat more. When cows eat more, they produce more milk, and it eliminates a person with a tractor or 4-wheeler having to push the feed closer. So really the Junos are the best return on my investment in this barn, just because they run 12 hours a day, 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning, the job gets done, and we have fresh feed that's always in front of the cows.
All right, so what advice would you give a producer that's looking at installing robots?
Number 1, and this is very important, go out and visit other robotic dairies. Not just 1, not just 2. We probably looked at over 100 dairies with robots. Go there without the salespeople there. So the dairymen are brutally honest with you. They will tell you the pros and cons. So it seems like every time I went to a dairy, I'd always bring a notebook and try and write down one thing that the dairy did very well and one thing that was very poor. So whenever we built our facilities, we could see what worked and did not work on their facilities. If you're considering robotic milking, you do not need to be afraid of technology. You invest that much money in technology, so you need to utilize that technology. I can access ventilation, soaking times, high pressure mister times and set points. We can diagnose the robots, diagnose the ventilation and fans. I can check my manure handling system at the separator. Just a multitude of things that are the touch of my hand. I can honestly operate this whole dairy through my phone.
Can you discuss a little bit about your flush system?
Sure. The key for a robot barn to work precisely is stay out of the living area of the cows. So that made me think, how are we going to remove the manure from the cows? We did not want to disturb their routine with tractors and scrapers going through the barn. So that's why we developed a flushing system that flushes water through the cement 6 times a day per pen, and it takes the organic material from the cows into a pit that's pumped up into a separator and press, and it squeezes all the water out of the manure to create dry bedding, and then the leftover water is recycled and we reuse that water to flush the lanes again with.
So for your area here where there's heat and humidity, Is that why you decided to do the tunnel
No,
ventilation?
you're exactly right. So for this size of farm, for this many robots, it just made more sense to install tunnel ventilation in this barn. On the intake side of the barn, we dropped down the eave maybe 10 feet with the 8-foot opening. It seems like that pulls the air more down lower at cow level. And then once that air comes through that eave, we have a high pressure fogging system right there at that eave. And through evaporative cooling, the exhaust fans on the north side of the barn drop the internal temperature close to 20-25 degrees during the heat of the summer when the humidity is really low. And on top of that, we have soakers that run every 5 minutes to keep the cows cool.
What are some of the benefits you've seen from installing these robots?
So with this only being here for 6 months so far, some of the initial benefits that we've witnessed is, number one is feet health here. This barn is really a comfortable environment for the cows, so it allows the cows to lay down so they're not on their feet as much. We're probably averaging 13-14 hours a day of laying time. So whenever cows are off their feet stay healthier, and they're also producing more milk whenever they're laying down, and just stay healthier as well. We currently are in this facility for 6 months. We've just gotten to that point where things are becoming dialed in, things are flowing as they should, so it takes a while to get to that time where you can kind of sit back and realize the benefits of robotic milking.